Hi guys, I'm going to be playing a challenge with Blue Green Tron. So M19 just released, and with it came a exciting new card, Elvish Rejuvenator. Basically this card is for 3 mana, it's a 1/1, and you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck. If it's you can put any land into play, so that could be a Tron land. This card is pretty good. It's basically I replaced the crop rotations in this deck with Elvish Rejuvenator. The problem with crop rotation is that it doesn't ramp, and also it costs a land to actually look for a land. So frequently the resource could be tight, so you don't want a second land. And also Elvish Rejuvenator can just ramp you from 3 mana to 5 mana. So even without Tron, so you could just play ramp from 3 mana into a Muldrifter. Other than that, I've been trying a lot of card choices. I've tried things like Tolarian Wind, Brainstorm, tried different counters, Memory Lapse, Dispel, tried Dinner Over Horror, things like that. And I've basically come back to almost exactly what I had when I played this deck in one of the earlier challenges. So I'm playing all 4 Systemic Signets and 4 Expedition Maps for Prophetic Prisms. I think Signet is really good still. The extra mana really helps sets you up. The extra mana just lets you dig deeper, cast more spells. It makes you the green mana helps cast things like Moment's Peace. So yeah, I really like Systemic Signet, and I think 4 is definitely the right number. Yeah, there's I was talking to some people on the Discord. There's this. Unfortunately, we don't have this for Pauper, but for Hearthstone, there's this statistics website that gathers a lot of statistics, and it can tell you data such as if you have something in your opening hand, what's the percentage that you win, or if when you draw it, what's the percentage that you win. I would guess that Systemic Signet probably has the best win percentage in the opening hand out of any card in the deck. So I think it's really good, and yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the list that are cutting Systemic Signets these days. Other than that, 3 Impulse, 2 Mystical Teachings, 4 Muldrifters, 2 Forbidden Alchemies. This is still pretty much what I had last time. Impulses are important because it's a lot better to have a mixture of mana costs, so it makes it a lot harder to waste mana. You can use mana much more efficiently. So yeah, and 2 Pulse, 2 Ghostly Flicker, 3 Mnemonic Wall. Yeah, and for win cons, I have 1 Rolling Thunder. So Rolling Thunder isn't great. It's probably the worst card in the deck, but I feel like it's important to not. It's important for this deck to not deck, or so not timeout. If I wasn't playing online, I would probably cut Rolling Thunder and just play 2 counter spells. So could be Prohibit, Dispel, or Memory Lapse, Dispel, something like that. But because I'm playing online, I'm basically keeping Rolling Thunder just for clock purposes. It's probably the worst kind of the deck. Other thing I'm playing is Capsize. If I wasn't playing online, I probably would play Dinrova, because I think with Dinrova, it being the fact that you can flicker it means that you could basically bounce your opponent's board much more efficiently than with Capsize. But since I am playing Rolling Thunder, I don't plan on bouncing my opponent's board anymore. Like with Dinrova, usually the way you win is you bounce your opponent's entire board, all their lands, all their creatures, and that should kill them. Since I'm playing Rolling Thunder, I don't have to do that. I just hit their face, and so I think that allows me to play the much less or much more mana intensive Capsize, but it's a little bit more flexible than Dinrova. So it's kind of a trade-off there. And then I'm playing 3 Moment's Peace. Oh yeah, so the one card that I cut from my previous version is Deep Analysis, and instead I replaced it with Mortuary Mire. So Mortuary Mire is a much worse value card than Haunted Fangraph, which is what I was playing before, but it basically makes it such that you don't deck. And so basically, yeah, that's how I'll beat Infinite Life Gain. I'm not going to use previously my plan was to do deep analysis and just deep analysis my opponent to death. But because I'm playing Mortuary Mire, I don't have to do that. And Mortuary Mire still kind of doubles as a valid land. I can't play Haunted Fangraph because, you know, if I have any Rejuvenators in the graveyard, Haunted Fangraph is too poor. So yeah, Mire is basically my value land. Also doubles as a win con because I can deck the opponent. Instead of that deep analysis, I'm playing one extra Moment's Peace in the main. Another new addition is Quicksand. Quicksand is primarily against Tribe, but it also has some other applications against, you know, like you could make it harder for them to ninja you. You could maybe kill a creature. So yeah, that's the other addition. So that's a remote isle. So yeah, that's the main. The thing that I am kind of excited about is the sideboard. I think the sideboard is pretty good. The sideboard is a place where I've stolen a lot of tricks from other people. So I've added Serrated Arrows. It's kind of a new attack against mainly Tribe and Delver. I picked up an Ancient Grudge. Yeah, this is mainly for relics. So yeah, that's frequently how opponents will try to stop you, is with relics, and Ancient Grudge can handle that. And yeah, so basically this sideboard is pretty good against Delver. There's 2 Serrated Arrows, 2 Gryphs, 2 Cop Blues, and that's backed up by Electricries and Pyroblasts. So a lot of good sideboard cards. And another thing is that it's playing a bunch of Hydroblasts, which is good against Burn. If you look at the challenge meta, the 2 most popular decks are Burn and Burrow Delver. This is from last time. So being prepped for those 2 matches, I feel like is pretty good. Hydroblast is also good against Fiend, which is another tough matchup for this deck. And yeah, so I think Hydroblast 4 seems good. The other option is that instead of the 4th Hydroblast, I can play like a Cop Red or something. I think because if one of my targets is going to be Fiend, I think Hydroblast is better against Fiend than Cop Red, because they're already going to be bringing in Flaring Pain for Moment's Peace. Flaring Pain also stops Cop Red, so I think 4 Hydroblast is better. And then there's another Dispel, or not another. There's a Dispel in the sideboard, just kind of a flexible card. I'll probably be citing it in many matchups. A Pyroblast against Control and Delver. Electricry also against Delver, also against Elves. Yeah, I think with Electricry, you know, I used to be pretty scared of the Elves matchup. I think with Electricry, it does get a lot better. So I have a copy of that. Yeah, and an extra copy of Moment's Peace. So that's the deck. This deck has been performing pretty well for me. I actually had a 18 match win streak in leagues at one point. So yeah, I think this deck is very good. In terms of my goals, I feel like I probably have burned up all my luck with this deck in leagues and with the challenge. So I'll just be looking for a 4-3. Just like a positive score. So, alright, let's see how this goes.